Okay, open your eyes. Ah, correct.
Okay, close your eyes.
Correct, Jemaya.
Close your eyes. Okay.
Okay.
Which one is that?
This one.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay, you're done again.
My turn. Close your eyes. Hey guys, I adjust this guys so you can like and subscribe. Okay, open. Hi everyone.
Close your eyes.
We're playing hide and seek the
Okay.
dice.
Okay. Close your eyes, Bobby.
Oh, wait lang. I'm not looking. Hide and seek. Where is the dice?
Bobby, okay, look.
Okay. Dito. Aww.
Okay.
Dito. Oh, where?
It's not here.
Okay.
One in my clothes.
Okay.
Okay, it's your turn. It's your turn.
Okay, my turn. It's your hair. Please. You can see the hair. Close your eyes. Open. Correct. Oh, I have baby hair.
Baby hair.
Yeah, because I am pregnant. Maybe the hair are growing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, Bobby, close your eyes. Close your eyes, Bobby. Okay, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Which one?
Dito. Ah, on your head.
Okay, your turn.
We fix our background. We put green stuff at our background.
Back around.
Oo.
Okay.
Wait lang.
Oh, bird!
Oh.
I look like a hot dog, so my you look like me. Maybe baby's months now? 6 months. Okay, mommy. 26 weeks. Let's see. Okay, settled. I already have the water. We will search
Both
the
sides.
size of the
Open.
baby right now. Approximately. Yeah. Looks like a shape like a apple. Bigger than an apple. Okay.
Okay, wait. I'm working.
It's bigger.
Masimula na yung SONA.
Dance. What will we buy? Look here. Mommy. Only this guy.
Like.
Some few essentials, food, and we already have some stuffs at home. And we are nearby some local stores for our daily needs like food. Where's it? No?
I'm sorry. Oh no. Ano tummy?
It's here. It's here on my leg. It's down here in my chair.
Okay.
Ah, got it. Okay, it's your turn to get.
Jemima asked guys, how many months is the baby? How many months?
The baby butts is the baby around.
I said 6 months and 3 weeks. Close your eyes. What's your problem, di Maros?
What's your problem, Mommy Rose? Young or silly goat? I don't know. Close your eyes, Mommy. Mommy, close your eyes. Mommy, close your eyes. Close your eyes, Mommy. Close your eyes, Mommy. Close your eyes.
Oh, close one eye.
Mommy, where is it? Where is it?
Help me.
Mommy, where is it?
Help me.
I don't need help. Mommy, where is it? Where is it?
Dito. Dito. Ah, you tricked me.
Okay, you can use the seat to hide it.
Hello, Faris Fauzi. He asked me, "Baby, how much?" Baby now, mommy.
Chocolate.
6 months.
Chocolate.
Give me also dito.
Beep, beep, up. Beep, the body love.
We have typhoon in the Philippines right now. The signal is still okay.
Where is the chocolate? Where is the chocolate, Mommy?
Does your child
Dito
have
sa gilid.
allergies?
Wala
Give
na.
her Similac.
Wala.
Okay.
Bangulan.
I want chocolate.
My care and protection.
Come on,
Reinforced
chocolate.
antibacterial hand soap fights germs that cause 100 plus diseases with dual care that helps moisturize skin. Reinforced antibacterial hand soap. Sigurado. Life is unpredictable. That's why I decided to get life insurance as a
Right,
safety net to
Daddy.
protect myself. With BDO, I can protect them.
Dislike. Love.
Mapakan mo po isa pa ha.
Baby, don't step on daddy, please. Be very careful, man.
Chocolate.
Wala ba dito?
Chocolate.
Oh, ayun baga, oh. Isa na lang, ah. Chocolate.
Let me open it for you.
Yeah, sharing, ah. Sharing.
Sharing.
Is caring.
I will share. I will share
Wag
with
na
you.
mag-sound. Wag na mag-shout. Mubarak Mia. Hello. Hi.
Mommy, just keep it here. Hey, will you keep me up, please?
I have another luman inside. Thank you for your
Other
likes.
baby.
We have 3 likes na, baby. Thank you. Say thank you.
Thank you. I want to be inside mommy.
Hindi na, mabigat na. Dito ka. Parang kita mag-vlog. Ubibi, 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 ubibi. Fausan and Mubarak Mia. Hello. Emerson. What's Emerson? My cousin's name is Emerson, but he's not here in the Philippines. Ganti tayo.
Might make sounds.
Gamit mo dali. Wala. Doon ka, please. Oh.
Makita.
Nakita. Oh,
Kita?
ayun oh.
Ang
Ayun.
kita?
Makita.
Nakita ang kita.
Oh. Nasi. Oh.
Hindi mabintay ang katawan mo. Please like.
Please like.
Please like.
Please like.
Uy, doon na tayo sa SONA.
Please like.
Thank you, thank you. We have Jayvanta Boy. Jayvant Boy Kanzara. Say hi, baby. Hi, please like.
Chocolate.
Let's have a news first about the typhoon here in the Philippines, guys. We have typhoon. Hope it will not stay for long.
Hope it did not stay for long.
And it will just be weaker,
And we're gonna be just be weaker.
so that we can have more money selling
So we can have
Daddy
more
siomai,
siomai
and coffee,
coffee.
and what else?
And what else?
Coolers.
Coolers.
Alamin.
Alamin.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe lumpia.
Maybe yupa.
Lumpia.
Yupa.
Aray, my ears.
What? What? What?
Cyclone bulitin natin. Hinggil na sa typhoon na si Egay. At
Chibutida. Didida. Da.
So patuloy nga natin monitor ang typhoon na si Egay. At kaninang alas 10 ng umaga, ang sentro nito, tinatiyan natin nasa line 525 kilometers ang layo, silangan ng Baler Aurora. Mapapansin natin na malayo pa yung sentro nito, pero dahil sa malawak na kaulapan nito, may ilang bahagi na ng ating bansa, particular na dito sa may bandang silangang bahagi ng Luzon at ng Visayas. Ang posibleng nakakaranas ng mga pag-ulan na dulot nito. Taglay ni Egay yung lakas ng hangin, umabot hanggang 150 kilometers per hour malapit sa gitna nito. At yung pagbugso ng hangin, abot hanggang 185 kilometers per hour. May kabagalan ng pagkilos nito, no? Kaya within the next 24 hours, sinasa natin na posibleng mababad sa paulan nito mga lalawigan sa silangang bahagi ng Luzon at ng Visayas. Kaya ngayon pa lang, ilang araw na rin natin inaabisan yung mga kababayan natin dyan, pati na rin yung pag-coordinate natin sa ating mga partners sa disaster preparedness and mitigation measures. Dapat po mag-monitor, maging alerto at patuloy ng ugnayan yung mga kababayan natin sa kanilang local government at saka local DR officials para sa mga disaster preparedness and mitigation measures. Samantala, pansinin naman natin sa kanlurang bahagi ng ating bansa, particular na dito sa western section ng Southern Luzon at ng Visayas, may mga ulap tayo dahil sa pinag-ibayong habagat or southwest monsoon. Mamaya, himay natin yung mga ulan na dulot ng bagyo at ng habagat para mas lalo nating makita ano ba yung mga lugar na maaari nang mag-prepare sa mga oras na ito at dapat mag-prepare para sa mga nabanggit nating weather system. So sa latest forecast track ng Pag-asa, makikita natin alas 8 ng umaga, nasa karagatan pa rin bahagi ng Philippine Sea itong sentro ng typhoon na si Egay. At bukas ng umaga, Martes, inaasahan natin na nasa layo niya siyang 320 kilometers silangan ng Tuguegarao City. Sa darating naman na Miyerkules ng umaga, inaasahan natin na nandito na siya sa may bandang coastal waters ng Calayan, Cagayan. Pansinin din natin yung symbol sa gitna ng forecast track. Inaasahan pa natin na hanggang bukas ay posibleng nasa typhoon category ito. At sa darating naman na Wednesday, hindi natin i-rule out. Baka umabot pa ito sa super typhoon category. Ngayon, sa darating naman na Huwebes, inaasahan natin na tuloy na itong lalabas ng ating area of responsibility sa layong 245 kilometers west ng Itbayat, Batanes. At sa darating naman na Biyernes, inaasahan natin na posibleng nandito na siya sa bahaging southeastern part ng China sa layo naman na 595 kilometers northwest ng Itbayat, Batanes. Sa darating naman na Sabado, natin na tuloy na itong kikilos patungo dito sa may bandang bahagi ito ng China or sa layong 1,020 kilometers northwest ng extreme northern zone. So pansinin natin yung mga forecast track natin, yung area of probability, no? Uulitin natin. Yung area of probability nagpapakita ng maaring maging pagkilos ng bagyo throughout the forecast period. Yung center track, ito yung inaasahan nating magiging tahak ng sentro ng bagyo. Yung area probability, for example, kanina pinakita natin sa darating na Wednesday, nandito siya sa coastal waters ng Calayan, no? Pero kung titingnan natin yung area probability, mapapansin natin na may tendency pala na baka yung sentro ng bagyong si Egay ay tumama pa dito sa either Isabela area, anywhere sa may bandang Cagayan, or anywhere dito sa mga group of islands sa dulong Hilagang Luzon, sa Batanes o dito sa Babuyan group of islands. So ngayon pa lang, pinapaalalahanan na natin, no? Hindi lamang itong bandang Cagayan ang dapat maganda sa posibleng landfall, kundi maging lalawigan ni Isabela at itong ang Batanes at any of the smaller islands ng Babuyan Island. So, dahil nga dito sa paparating na bagyong si Egay, may nakataas po tayong tropical cyclone wind signal number 2. Dito sa mapa, makikita natin yung mga lugar na naka-highlight ng yellow mula dito sa may bandang Visayas area, Southern Luzon at Northern Luzon area. Warning signal number 2, malakas ang hangin ito, no? Pwede makasira ito ng mga bahay na gawa sa light materials, mga bahay na gawa sa kahoy, pwede makasira ng mga pananim, pwede makapagpatumba ng ilang poste ng kuryente, makasira rin ng mga iba pang mga istruktura na luma na. Especially yung mga bahay na gawa sa, for example, sa kanayunan, yung mga bahay na gawa sa tawid. Pwede pong masira ito ng lakas ng hangin na dulot ng warning signal number 2. Meron tayong warning signal number 2 sa Catanduanes, sa central at eastern portion ng Isabela, eastern portion ng Albay, eastern portion ng Camarines Sur, northern portion ng Aurora, eastern portion ng Quirino, eastern and central portion ng Cagayan, ganun din sa may bandang northern portion ng Camarines Norte at northeastern portion ng lalawigan ng Northern Samar. Samantala yung mga lugar na naka-highlight ng light blue, yan naman yung mga lugar na may warning signal number 1. Makakaranas ng katamtaman hanggang sa malakas na hangin, katamtaman hanggang sa maalong mga karagatan, ang mga lalawigan ng Sorsogon, natitirang bahagi ng Albay, natitirang bahagi ng Camarines Norte at Camarines Sur, natitirang bahagi ng Isabela, natitirang bahagi ng Cagayan kasama na ang Babuyan Island, ang lalawigan ng Apayao, Abra, Kalinga, ganun din sa Mountain Province, Ifugao, sa natitirang bahagi ng Quirino, sa lalawigan ng Nueva Vizcaya. Warning signal number 1 din nakataas sa Batanes, sa Masbate kasama ang Chico at Burian Island, sa lalawigan ng Quezon kasama ang Pulilo Island, natitirang bahagi ng Aurora, dito sa may bandang Benguet, sa Ilocos Sur at Ilocos Norte, dito sa may bandang La Union, Nueva Ecija, Pangasinan, Tarlac, Zambales at Bulacan. Sorsogon, natitirang bahagi ng Albay, Ora, eastern portion ng Quirino, eastern and central portion ng Cagayan, ganun din sa may bandang northern portion ng Camarines Norte at northeastern portion ng lalawigan ng Northern Samar. Sa central portion ng Romblon, sa may bandang northern at central portion ng Batangas, dito sa may bandang eastern Samar, sa natitirang bahagi ng Northern Samar, sa lalawigan ng Samar, sa Biliran, ganun sa northern and central portion ng Leyte, dito sa northern portion ng Cebu kasama ang Bantayan Island at Camotes Island. So ano nga ba yung naasahan natin, no? Kapag nakataas po yung warning signal number 1, but for example, dito sa Metro Manila, ay hindi pa nararamdaman. Ibig sabihin po nun, mayroon tayong tinatawag na lead time. Pag sinabi natin lead time yung palugit, bago natin actual na maramdaman yung magiging epekto ng bagyo. Sa Metro Manila, for example, warning signal number 1, meron tayong at least 36 hours or less para maranasan yung katamtaman hanggang sa malakas na hangin at yung mga paulan na dala ng bagyo. And of course, sa mga lugar na nabanggit nating mga may warning signal number 2, mas malapit sa bagyo, posibleng within 24 hours or less, maramdaman na yung epekto ng bagyo, yung malalakas na hangin at ulan na dala nito. Of course, habang lumalapit yung bagyo sa ating bansa, posible rin madagdagan pa yung mga lugar na may warning signal number 2 at number 1. So in terms of paulan ngayong araw, asahan ng paulan sa lalawigan ng Cagayan, Catanduanes, Camarines Sur, Camarines Norte at sa northern portion ng Sorsogon. 50 to 100 millimeters of rain posibleng maranasan sa mga lalawigan nito. Samantala bukas, posibleng umabot ng lagpas pa ng 200 mm of rain sa Batanes, Babuyan Island, Ilocos Norte at sa northwestern portion ng Abra. 100 to 200 mm of rain naman, northern portion ng mainland Cagayan, sa Apayao, sa natitirang bahagi ng Abra at ganoon din sa lalawigan ng Ilocos Sur. Around 50 to 100 mm sa natitirang bahagi ng Cordillera Administrative Region at natitirang bahagi ng Ilocos Region. So, pagdating naman sa bukas ng hapon hanggang Miyerkules ng hapon, may inaasahan tayong 50 to 100 mm of rain sa natitirang bahagi ng Cordillera Administrative Region, sa natitirang bahagi ng Pangasinan at Zambales. Ngayon, ano ba yung kahalagaan ng mga paulan na nabanggit natin? May mga lugar po kasi na posibleng sa around 50 mm pa lamang ay babahain agad. So dapat yung mga LGUs natin, yung mga local DR officials, identified na natin sa pamamagitan ng existing hazard map yung mga flash flood at landslide prone areas. Para hanggat maaga pa, may prepare po natin ating mga kababayan para maiwasan yung mga posibleng pagbaha sa low-lying areas, pagguho ng lupa sa mga lugar na malapit po sa paanan ng bundok. Samantala, dahil naman sa bagat or southwest monsoon, kanina pinakita po natin, yung ulap sa kanlurang bahagi ng ating bansa, posibleng magdulot ng mga pag-ulan sa ilang bahagi ng Katimugang Luzon, particular sa Occidental Mindoro, dito sa may bandang northern part ng Palawan, at ganoon din sa mga ilang lalawigan dito sa western Visayas. Para po sa karagdagang impormasyon, mangyari ring tingnan yung ating weather advisory about the southwest monsoon na available din sa ating official Pag-asa website. Ipinalabas po yan kanina alas 11 ng umaga. So, dahil sa mga nabanggit nating posibleng pag-ulan na dala ng bagyong si Egay at ng habagat. Patuloy pa rin yung paalala natin na maging alerto sa mga posibleng pagbahas sa buhong ng lupa. Maaaring ngayon pa lamang, may mga ilang lugar na sa warning signal number 2 na inuulan. Maaaring wala pang ulan naman sa ilang lugar sa may warning signal number 1. Pero hanggat maaga po ay mapaganda na natin yung mga nabanggit nating posibleng senaryo. Bakit? Example lamang po ito ng numerical weather prediction model na nagpapakita ng posibleng concentration ng ulan sa susunod na 2 hanggang 3 araw. Pansinin natin, simula ngayon hanggang bukas ng umaga, yung concentration ng paulan dito sa may bandang silangan bahagi ng Northern Luzon, maging dito sa may bandang Bicol region. May mga pagulan din tayo naasahan dito nga sa kanlurang bahagi ng Katimugang Luzon at ng Kabisayaan. Samantala, sa darating na Martes, bukas ng umaga hanggang Miyerkules ng umaga, mapapansin natin, mas marami ng paulan. Northern Luzon area, may paulan pa rin tayo sa western section ng Southern Luzon at ng Visayas. Sa darating naman ng Miyerkules hanggang Huwebes, pansinin natin, concentration ng ulan, Northern Luzon area pa rin, western section ng Central at ng Southern Luzon. So, kaya po ganyan yung rainfall pattern, concentration sa Northern Luzon at sa western section ng Central and Southern, dahil nga sa paparating na bagyong Egay para sa Northern Luzon area at Bicol region, samantala, habagat naman para sa western section ng Central at ng Southern Luzon at ng maging Visayas. Kaya yun nga po, ulitin natin yung paalala natin ng mga babala sa mga posibleng pagbaha at pagguho ng lupa. Bukod sa ating tropical cyclone advisory, mangyari ring i-monitor yung mga posibleng localized thunderstorm at heavy rainfall advisory na ipapalabas ng Pag-asa Regional Services Division sa inyong lugar. In terms of warning signal, meron tayong warning signal number 2 and 1 ngayon, and we're not ruling out the possibility na posible pa tayong magtaas ng warning signal number 4 at 5. Bakit? Inaasahan natin na posible pang umabot ito ng super typhoon category. We're not ruling out the possibility, na sa masusunod na 2 hanggang 3 araw, lalong-lalo na pag nandito niya siya sa may bandang Batanes or Babuyan Group of Island area, ay posibleng mas malakas pa na hangin at mas maraming paulan, lalong-lalo na yung mga lugar na malapit sa tinatayang sentro nito. At dahil din sa paparating naman na bagyo, nasa typhoon category na po ito, may babala tayo ng storm surge. Dito sa lalawigan ng Batanes, Cagayan, Ilocos Norte at Isabela, yung mga bahaging karagatan po dyan, yung mga coastal community, maaaring makakaranas ng mga pagtaas ng alon na posibleng umabot ng 1 hanggang 2 metro. So hindi lamang yung mga banta ng ulan at malalakas na hangin ang dapat natin paghandaan, kundi maging yung matataas na pag-alon na dala ng paparating na bagyo, lalong-lalo sa mga coastal communities identified natin sa mapang ito. Bukod pa dyan, ano na may epekto nitong habagat sa ating lugar, in terms of sa kalagayan ng pag-alon ng mga karagatan. Dito po sa mapa, makikita natin yung mga bahaging karagatan ng Kapula, may nakataas tayong gale warning. Ibig sabihin, magiging maalon hanggang sa napakaalon mga karagatan, hanggat maaari huwag na pumalaot dito yung mga kababayan nating mga isla at yung mga may maliit na sakayang bandagat. Sa mga karagatan sa paligid ng Batanes, Cagayan kasama ang Babuyan Island, Isabela, Aurora. So mapapansin natin, halos yung mga lalawigan na nasa Ilaga at silangang bahagi ng Luzon at ng Visayas, at maging dito sa may bandang northeastern part ng Mindanao. Meron din tayo sa Southern Luzon area, yung mga nasa bahaging karagatan ng Camarines Provinces, Catanduanes, Albay, Sorsogon, at maging dito sa Romblon, Marinduque area. May nakataas tayong gale warning. Samantala, yung yellow naman na naka-highlight, magiging maalon po mga karagatan. At posibleng sa natitirang bahagi ng Visayas, yung mga karagatan po na walang gale warning, posibleng din tayo magtaas ng gale warning ngayong araw. So, ang kabayanan din po, yung possible gale warning na ipapalabas ng Pag-asa, either mamayang alas 5 ng hapon or mas maaga pa. At every 6 hours, magbibigay po tayo ng update, hindi nga sa typhoon na si Egay, ang susunod nating tropical cyclone bulletin.
Oh, we have many viewers, maybe 7.
Yan muna, latest mula dito sa Pag-asa Weather Forecasting Center. Magandang araw po sa kanila lahat.
Viewers.
May masakit na sinabi na ay.
May ma.
Ako na init sa'yo, ha?
Malagay tayong non-copyrighted music. Ano ipi-play mo? Yung blocks. Yung blocks.
No. Play with me.
Uh-huh.
You are dirty.
Magandang umaga, narito na ang mga unang balita ngayong araw ng State of the Nation Address, SONA 2023.
Hello po, Jemima po and Ashley sa today po ang check-up naman po ni Dr. Sia po. Pa-check up ka daw ng mata.
Ngayong Lunes, nakabantay kami sa SONA at tigil pasada. Nasa ang pabasa sina Ivan Mayrina at Balik Umali. Bantay rally sa Commonwealth Avenue si Bam Alegre. Bantay seguridad naman para sa SONA si James Agustin. At ang tigil pasada ng grupong Manibela mula naman kay Darlene Kai. Pasado alas 6 umaga, nagbabantay na mga pulis kung saan matitipon-tipon ang mga taga-suporta ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa Commonwealth Avenue, Quezon City. At para sa update, may unang balita live si Bam Alegre. Bam?
Good morning. Nakahanda na rin po ang Murahan to stage presence dito sa harapan ng Commission on Audit at ng Sandigan Bayan sa kahabaan ng Commonwealth sa Quezon City. Dito, inaasahan na magtitipon itong mga taga-suporta ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos mamaya. Paano ba nailatag na ng pulisya yung kanilang visibility sa lugar? Marami ang nakadeploy para bantayan ang paligid ng dalawang gusali na nasa bungad ng kanto bago magbatas ang pambansa complex. Sa ikalawang
Ate,
state
may
of
libreng
address
check-up daw si Jemay
Pangulong Bongbong
sa
Marcos
mata.
mamaya ay dito inaasahan na magkakaroon ng
Tara,
gathering
withdraw
o
tayo.
assembly yung ilang grupo para ipakita ang kanilang suporta. May malaking station na itayo
Bibi,
na sa
you will
gilid
have
ng
check-up
Commonwealth at
for
nabisuhan na
eyes.
ng mga pulisya ang mga
Wow.
nakapark malapit dito
You
na
listen
hindi
to
muna
the
sila
doctor.
maaaring manatili. May mga naka-standby din ng mga
Yeah,
police
Dr.
vehicle
Sia.
at naging mga fire truck.
Sa
Igan, ito naman yung isa
Panganiban.
pang perspective mula rito
I
sa
don't
ating
know, maybe
natatayuan.
it's a
Dito may
boy.
mga nakaabang na ng
An old
mga
boy,
naka-deploy, ang mga
but
police,
he's a
at
doctor
mga
for the
naka-standby din ng
eyes.
mga government assets tulad ng mga bumbero for emergency purposes at meron na rin mga
And
police
Ashley, you
vehicles.
know
So
Ashley,
far,
your
wala pa rin
classmate?
yung mga any sign ng mga supporters kung sa kanilang inaasahan na assembly point, pero naka-ready na itong kanilang pupuntahan mamaya. So, unang balita mula rito sa Commonwealth Quezon City, Bamalegre para sa GMA Integrated News.
Nakapwesto na rin ang mga pulis malapit sa batasang pambansa. Nakahanda na rin sila para sa mga magsasagawa ng kilos protesta. Mula Quezon City, may unang balita live. James Agustin. Gage.
Susan, good morning. Maigpit na yung seguridad na pinatutupad sa 28 na Security Task Unit o STU, hindi lamang dito sa Commonwealth Avenue, maging sa IDP Road malapit sa Batasan Complex. Yung mga magmamatcha na magkikilos protesta mamaya, Susan, dito sa Commonwealth Avenue ay papayagan lamang ng pulisya hanggang sa ilalim ng Luzon Avenue flyover.
Madaling araw pa lang ay nakadeploy na ang mga pulis na magbibigay seguridad para sa SONA ngayong araw. Sa Kamkalingan, may 2,000 pulis ng PCPD ang ipinakala sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Commonwealth Avenue. Bahagi sila ng mahigit 23,000 na security forces at force multipliers. Pinalalaman ng
Hello,
mga pulis na
Nor
sa ilalim ng maximum
Amin.
tolerance
How
sa mga
are you?
magkikilos protesta. Maaga rin nagsimulang pumesto ang mga pulis sa ilalim ng Luzon
Mabarak
Avenue
niya.
flyover sa Commonwealth Avenue. Dala-dala ng mga miyembro ng Civil Disturbance Management o CDF ang kanilang shield, baton at helmet. Hanggang doon lang papayagan ng mga militanteng grupo na magkilos protesta at magsagawa ng programa. Tinarangan ng mga concrete barrier ang ilang lane ng kalsada. Kaya 4 na lane na lang muna ang
We don't talk about Bruno. Minog na naman yung SONA. Alas 2. Ayos talaga tong presidente natin. Kayo ang nagadyo sa akin. We have State of the Nation address, guys, of our president. We're also waiting. Uno, dos, tres. Wow! Nice blocks. Guys, I'm gonna show you. It's very strong, guys. She did it, guys. Wow! She's so artistic, guys. Wow! Oh, this is a building, guys. Maybe you'll become an architect or an engineer someday. Where are you punching, mommy? Can you see? And I will show you this also, guys. Her artwork. Look. Isn't it nice? Super nice, guys. There's a rainbow, and here's the little girl, big baby girl, and hearts, and her name on top, guys. Look. Ah, so pretty activity of Jemima. Wow. And she will also teach the small baby inside me when the baby comes out. But I told her, don't give the baby other foods, only breast milk or gatas, milk only.
This is a small house I never seen.
Anything, guys?
Okay, are you ready to smash it?
Smash.
Yeah. So. Okay, ready,
Okay.
set, go. Smash. 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 Which one? Daddy, can you get out your knife? So I get two. Dice. Dice. Ouch. Okay, let's go on to your house. Okay. So
Hello, hello.
This one got me the other side.
30 minutes. Thank you guys for the 30 minutes.
Hey, peel gun.
Feel gone.
Mom, show it to subscribers.
Okay. Mama made a gun, guys.
Hey, Mommy, that's mine.
Okay, they
This is
saw
for
it now.
kids.
They saw it.
You
For
know-
kids. The pill gun was broken.
So jelly, lovely. Mommy, can you sing the jelly, Mommy, that was so. Listen to my favorite song. Mommy, come
Listen
on.
to my favorite song. Then see you in the time. Underneath your breath, darling, you look like that. Beautiful
long.
tonight.
Long. It was long, Mommy. It was long.
Oh.
I gotta make the pill gun so awesome.
So awesome.
Hey, why you're cutting it?
Just speak, don't shout. You can hear it. Oh. Oh, practice.
Look.
Look. She's busy on this side, everyone. She's busy, subscribers. She's busy doing her artworks and some games, building blocks. And what else did my mom? Imagination's working. Very good. I'll put some audio, non-copyrighted for my uploads in her
Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew,
I like this. Relaxing. Hindi, tapos ko na yung ano. Kayo sinasabi. Hindi ka bibigyan ni YouTube ng sahod, ha? Hindi maganda ang vlog mo. Sige, labas na doon. Doon ka mag-shout. Doon. You go outside. Shout outside. Sige, labas na doon. Doon ka mag-shout. I'm disciplining her, guys. See, umalis na yung mga viewers, oh. Umalis. They went away. See, umalis na yung mga viewers, oh. Umalis. Kanina may 7 dyan. Umalis na yung isa. 7 pala, 5. Umalis. 7 dyan, umalis na yung isa. Sabi ko, not too much noise in vlogging. Okay? Sabi ko, you're not a firefighter. In vlogging. A fire truck. You're like a fire truck. You're not a firefighter. A fire truck. You're like a fire truck. Please don't do that again. Please don't do that again. Kita mo, daddy's also sleeping because he sold coffee early morning. Tapos ikaw, be kind. He sold coffee early Thank you for watching back. Be kind. Thank you for watching back. Editing, guys, so we'll have better title of our YouTube videos. Editing, guys, so we'll have better title of our YouTube videos. Sometimes we edit via our cell phone or simple cell phone using the YouTube app. Here online we have the YouTube Studio or YouTube Studio application via cell phone, and on the laptop we have the YouTube Studio via Google. And on the laptop we have the YouTube Studio via Google.
Mommy, look.
Wow, a tower. Can I show them? She doesn't want, guys. She made a tall tower. It's like a Burj Khalifa. Burj Khalifa? Even my bird? No, she doesn't. Remember Burj Khalifa of Dubai?
It's a fuel gun.
Pill gun. Wow, I can imagine it's a pill gun.
This is a fuel gun. No! My fuel gun is broken!
It happens when it falls, baby. When it falls down, it happens. Don't shout too much like that.
Whoa, this looks like
Don't shout too much like
the
that.
body at the robot, like for the spine.
Oh, there's 5.
Mom, look for the spine.
Wow, can you see? Can I show them? It's not pantay, the feet. You hear this, guys? We like this. easy. She said it's easy to make.
I think for the spine.
Botes, five, mura, di-
Sliding in that. She's broken.
Alright. You did your best.
Ako ba magkakala? Mommy, she's starting. Mommy, don't pull the scar. She's starting.
Yay!
Look at Bodhi's baby's head. Mommy, look at Bodhi's baby's head.
Small.
I got traded big.
Mhm.
Here's the big head.
Oh, wala man po si teacher. Labas ba tayo, baby? Para sa medical.
Okay, but Spike can draw any one of these blocks.
Mabasa ka?
Okay, but Spike, you can do it.
Okay, tapusin ko muna dito. Guys, yung aking advocacy on climate change, awareness, and energy, clean energy advocacy here in our region, Bicol region.
Okay. Mommy, Bodhi's Spike looks cool. Would you like Bodhi's Spike? Would you like Bodhi's Spike? Mommy, I says, did you like Bodhi's Spike?
Yes.
Mom, this will be the plane.
Wow! Choo-doo-choo-doo-doo-choo-choo.
Mom, you can switch it when you hide your Bodhi's Spike.
Hello!
Turn into
Yeah.
a plane.
Mubarak Mia gave us some flowers. Thank
Mommy,
you.
Mommy,
And
Mommy,
hearts.
you can hide your Bodhi's Spike. Now you can
Okay.
play the airplane.
Wait lang. I like
The
this
solutions to
video.
climate
Oh,
change.
the parachute. There.
Gender inequity is a global problem steeped in long-held cultural attitudes, laws, and institutions. And it's many of those ideas and structures that contribute the most to environmental impacts. So it isn't that surprising that there's a strong relationship between gender and climate change.
That's Charlie from the YouTube channel Our Changing Climate. He makes video essays about the environment and how we interact with it, and he's here today to help me explore ecofeminism and the gendered aspects of climate change. Now, if I put on my SJW hat for a second and say that gender is essentially made up and how we present and move through the world is essentially determined by where we grew up and what our parents and friends said that we are, and if the whole world recognized that individuals are individuals and that our sex does not determine our value in the world, well, then we wouldn't be having this problem. But as it is, in many cultures and places, men and women are treated really differently. Quick aside, I apologize to my non-binary friends out there. What is sustainability? That's what my professor scrawled across the whiteboard on the very first day of ES 112, the Intro to Environmental Science class. And of course, being the excitable young freshmen that we were, almost everyone raised their hand, but each answer was met with the same, yeah, kinda. But that's not quite it. We ended up spending the entire semester trying to answer that question, what is sustainability? And now I'm going to try to compress an entire semester, probably to my professor's chagrin, into this video. But fortunately, I don't have to do it alone. I got a little help from Hank Green.
I think that sustainability is the idea that we could get the Earth to a place where it could stay
Hank
roughly the way it
Green
is
of
without. Oh, I don't even know. It's so hard. Can
Fresh
we get
Force.
to a place where we could have
You can
the
also
number
see
of people
him
we have,
in
and we're sort of not creating more than because even then. You're right, this is a hard question.
The question doesn't seem that hard on the surface. Sustainability is a buzzword that we throw around all the time. But understanding what exactly is sustainability, what environmentalists are working toward all the time, is kind of important. Now, if I pull out my old college notebook, this is the definition I ended up writing down at the end of the semester. Sustainability is living within the regenerative capacity of the Earth so the essential needs of present generations can be met without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their essential needs. And that sounds great. Kinda. In order for that to work, we have to define a lot of other things, and suddenly that definition becomes a lot more subjective. What is Earth's regenerative capacity? How do we even measure that? What does future generations mean? Does that include just people, or are we looking to preserve the future generations of all species? Trees, bees, capybaras, red pandas, even sharks. What are our essential needs, and what are the essential needs of future generations? Is that the lifestyle that I live in this New York City apartment? And shouldn't essential needs be the same for everyone, or at least?
po. Mainit.
Bigla ang tunahan, handa ang ganda with just a finger comb with Palmolive Naturals Ultra Smooth.
Ay, sorry.
Melting glaciers, collapsing insect populations, and torrential downpours dousing towns in unrecoverable floods. Climate change is upon us whether we accept it or not, and the environmental, social, and economic damage it's leaving in its wake is catastrophic. Melting glaciers, collapsing insect populations, and torrential downpours dousing towns in unrecoverable floods. Climate change is upon us whether we accept it or not, and the environmental, social, and economic damage it's leaving in its wake is catastrophic. I'll admit, that's a pretty gloomy opener for a video, but these are harsh truths that we have to face. Coastal regions along Mozambique and farmlands across Nebraska drown under stormwaters while the Earth continues to heat up. Globally, we're well on our way to surpass a tipping point that will change our climate for good. It's easy to lose hope when you see these glimpses of what's to come, but often that doom and gloom makes me start searching for a better way to navigate our relationship, not only with the environment, but also with ourselves. And recently, I've come across ecofeminism as a possible lens through which to view our current environmental crisis. And I feel like it's important to see what it has to offer as a theoretical framework. So today, I'm going to answer two questions. What is ecofeminism, and is it a useful lens for understanding our current social and environmental
Thank you for 50 minutes.
So
We'll try
first,
for
what is
another 10
ecofeminism?
minutes or more.
Ecofeminism is a term coined by Francois Stevon in 1974.
That's my fellow YouTuber, Miri. She creates awesome environmentally focused videos on her channel, Zentora. Ecofeminism is so much more than just a term, however. It's a framework that seeks to combine, re-examine, and augment the environmental and feminist movements. Much like other theoretical frameworks, especially in the feminist movement, ecofeminism has grown and evolved in the last 45 years since it was first coined.
But at its core, ecofeminism seeks to reveal the connection between the oppression of women and the destruction of the environment. In essence, it The primary claim of ecofeminism is that women's liberation is intertwined with the liberation of the environment from human destruction.
And there are two key ways that this intersection is explored in ecofeminist scholarship: value hierarchical thinking and oppositional dualisms. These sound pretty complicated, so let's quickly break them down. Value hierarchical thinking is simply the notion that cultures establish certain groups as inherently more valuable than other groups. And oppositional dualisms are a way of understanding certain social and cultural binaries. For example, in many cultures, men and women are seen not only as intrinsically different from one another, but actually being opposite. We talk about quote-unquote opposite genders all the time, but that idea is itself constructed. Instead of being a binary, gender exists on a spectrum. In US culture, humans and nature are another oppositional dualism. And in most cases, cultural attitudes place more value on one side of the binary than the other. Often, these value dualities express themselves in language. For example, nature is characterized as feminine in the phrases Mother Earth or fertile ground, both to be plundered, extracted, and sown, while slang terms for women tend to be animals, like vixen or chick. Ecofeminists seek to show that this oppositional and hierarchical thinking helps to justify subjugation of both women and nature. And we can see this in ecofeminist texts like Rape of the Wild, which explores the masculinized violence directed at women and animals, and to a larger extent the natural world, through language, hunting, domesticity, technology, and slavery.
But ecofeminism has experienced a sharp decline since it rose to prominence in the 1990s, and indeed, it seems to have lost its following because of that pushback as well as a lack of use by activists and scholars. One of the primary critiques about ecofeminism is it lacks analysis about race, class, disability, and more. Or, as University of Michigan professor Josetta E. Taylor points out in an essay on the subject, that the formulation, control, and dissemination of ecofeminist beliefs, practices, and ideas are firmly under the control of slavery. In contrast to movements like environmental justice, Taylor and other ecofeminist critics point out that ecofeminism does not have an intersectional framework. Because ecofeminists tend to focus on only nature and women, they miss the differences that exist between them. As a result, much ecofeminist analysis tends to ignore most women.
Anecdotally, scholar activist Gwen Kirk corroborates this claim in her description of a weekend workshop in 1987 in New York. She writes that the first afternoon of the workshop was led by a group of activists of color talking about environmental racism and community organizing in their neighborhoods. And it was a very lively discussion. But Kirk notes that on the second day, she was involved in a workshop on ecofeminism. She describes it as a small white group that focused on feminist spirituality.
So when compared to a framework like that of environmental justice, ecofeminism seems irrelevant to most activists and thinkers. Although environmental justice initiatives rarely focus on gender specifically, they seem to build stronger coalitions in marginalized and frontline communities because they're focusing on issues like toxic waste, pollution, and food security that affect people in their immediate surroundings. Ecofeminism, as critics like Taylor and Kirk point out, has lost its relevance in part because it only functions at this high theoretical level where you're grouping all women of differing identities into one category. In short, critics of ecofeminism write that it's not a useful lens because it only lets us look at how gender and nature are connected. And in doing so, leaves out an analysis of how racism, classism, ableism, and other methods of domination are intertwined.
Wait lang, baby.
She's the king!
Water.
Happy world. She's talking of cards. This is fine. I want to go to my house, Mommy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
destruction.
Ultimately, ecofeminism is a way to interpret and connect the subjugation of the environment and women. It can definitely be a useful lens to understand how misogyny and the destruction of the natural world are connected, but it often leaves out other crucial avenues of subjugation, including race and class. But ecofeminism can be more than just a framework. There are very real instances where gender and the environment collide in the world. So for more on a real-world look at the connections between gender and climate change, I'd highly recommend checking out part 2 of this video on Miriam's channel. Hey everyone, Charlie here. Thanks so much for watching. This video is made possible by the people who support me on Patreon. They pitch in a little money each month to help me.
Climate change is not neutral. It's not going to affect all of us equally. Who you are, where you live, how much money you make, the strength of your community, many different factors determine how you'll be impacted. And climate change is definitely not gender neutral, and neither are some of the solutions to climate change.
Gender inequity is a global problem steeped in long-held cultural attitudes, laws, and institutions. And it's many of those ideas and structures that contribute the most to environmental impacts. So it isn't that surprising that there's a strong relationship between gender and climate change.
That's Charlie from the YouTube channel Our Changing Climate. He makes video essays about the environment and how we interact with it, and he's here today to help me explore ecofeminism and the gendered aspects of climate change. Now, if I put on my SJW hat for a second and say that gender is essentially made up and how we present and move through the world is essentially determined by where we grew up and what our parents and friends said that we are, and if the whole world
एक डिफेंस मिनिस्टर होने के नाते मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि आप एक ऐसी मिसाइल बनाएं जो इन सबसे ताकत
Welcome to this lunchtime lecture on gender and climate change. Why are women at more risk from global heating? My name is Karen Levy. I'm from the UCL Development Planning Unit. And I'll be chairing this lunchtime session, which is part of UCL's climate campaign, Generation One. The vision behind Generation One is that together we are the new generation taking responsibility for climate change and turning science into actionable ideas to contribute to creating a positive, fair, and progressive future. And you're very welcome to join the various activities of Generation One. It's very easy. At least let me just mention the two ways. You can pledge your climate action, which you can find out more about on the Generation One UCL website. And through pledging your action, hopefully inspire others to share through social media, through tweeting, etc. Please also check out the new Generation One podcast. It's a really interesting podcast series, again on the UCL Generation One website. So for this session today on gender and climate change, why are women at more risk from global heating? I'd like to welcome our three speakers for today, really interesting and provocative set of issues that they're going to raise for us today. Our first speaker will be Dr. Virginie Lemasson, who is one of the co-directors of the Center for Gender and Disaster within UCL's Institute for Risk and Disaster Reduction. Her research looks at gender inequalities and violence related to risks in places affected by environmental change and disasters. Our second speaker will be Dr. Kriti Parekh. Kriti heads the Engineering International Development Center at the Bartlett School of Sustainable Construction which researches inclusive and sustainable infrastructure solutions in resource-challenged settings. And our third speaker is Dr. Jordana Romalo, a lecturer in development planning for diversity at the Bartlett Development Planning Unit. And her research explores the socio-spatial political ecologies of disaster risk management, resilience building, and urban development. Folks, we're going to have some time for questions at the end of the session, but do keep your questions rolling through the session. I think that really will help our speakers also perhaps sometimes respond directly to some of those questions. We're using Slido as a mechanism for channeling the questions. You can go there, connect in on sli.do and enter the event code hashtag UCL
gender inequalities in health. But by way of introduction, I'm going to focus the next 15 minutes on trying to deconstruct a little bit the main question that was asked to us, the panel speakers. And I want to ask further, when we talk about women, what women do we refer to? I also want to further ask, who do we consider to compared to who? And also what we mean by risk and global heating and related risks. So these two questions are going to frame my 15-minute presentation. And starting with the first question, what women are talking about. Here, I want to mention that most of the literature on gender and climate change has been predominantly focusing on the experiences of women from the global south, so-called global south, and how they're experiencing the environment and environmental risks. This has been largely driven by the literature for the past 20 years, but also from the learning of non-governmental NGOs and the interventions that are operating in places affected by climate change. On the one hand side, this has been useful to make visible the experiences of women, especially that their practical needs, their strategic interests tend to be overlooked by humanitarian and development actions. So this has been useful to target their interests a bit more and document also their experiences. We also know that in many the world affected by drugs, particularly in fragile states, female-heavy households are likely to be considered food insecure as compared to male-heavy households. And this has to do with lots of different coping mechanisms that are more available to men, such as migration, for example. Including in my own research, I can share many examples where taking a gender perspective helped to understand how people will be differently affected by similar environmental shifts. And one of the research projects that I'm involved in is funded by UPRI, and it's looking at the way food farmers are coping with environmental shifts in 3 different countries, including Tanzania. And in Tanzania, we found that seaweed farmers are having to cope with a decrease of their yield due to the global warming of temperature. And this is increasing the likelihood of pests and pathogens to affect their seaweed crops. As a result, they have less production, and some of the coping mechanisms and strategies that could help them avoid those risks include, for example, moving their farms to the water, where the water is cooler. But this strategy is unavailable for women because they have never been taught how to swim, for example, but also because they have fewer opportunities to access equipment such as boats compared to men. So this is just an example of how some people living in the same place may have different ways to deal with risk according to their social identity. But having said that, I also want to
Hello, Yvette Mariano.
bring here a caveat in the fact that sometimes the gender perspective is not enough, and in similar places affected by similar risks, some communities will not have the same capacities to deal with risk. And here I want to bring the example of 2 very different communities living in the same place in the Western Cape in South Africa. And you probably have heard before that Cape Townians had to prepare for day zero. That was 3 years ago now. And I was living in Cape Town at the time, and they had to prepare for the day the city would cut water supply just because there was not enough water in the dams surrounding the city. But in facing those water restrictions, obviously some communities were not able to cope in the same way, and others were far more fluent to deal with the stress. And this was largely influenced by other aspects of gender inequalities, particularly racial inequalities, and the geographical segregation that still exists. So, similar to unpacking a little bit what we mean by women, I want to also ask the question, who do we compare women to? Um, Obviously, men can also be exposed and suffer from heat-related illnesses or heat risks, not just women. And it largely depends in which context and also who we include. It also raises this importance that it's not related necessarily to biological differences, but largely to occupations and gender roles. So when looking at the literature, particularly from what quantitative studies say around potentially this increased exposure of women to heat-related illness, I didn't find a consensus in the literature that suggests that this is the case. For example, one meta-analysis of the literature suggested that actually there was no concluding evidence that women may be more exposed to heat illnesses, but there is other research that suggests that it's actually the case. For example, with research in France related to 6 different heat waves between 1971 and 2003 that show that women were facing higher mortality ratios compared to men. Similar findings in Finland, where women, particularly the elderly above 75 years old, were more likely to die as a result from heat waves. But because we don't really have a consensus, and especially when looking at this quantitative study, they all suggested that there could be explanation related to people's roles and behaviors. This is where qualitative research is really important to give us a little bit of insight into understanding how people are differently affected by global warming. There is research in Australia following bushfires that suggests that men are more likely to die from bushfires, largely due to their tendency to stay behind to protect their houses and assets. And so this risk behavior tends to lead to higher mortality rates for men compared to women. Similarly, in terms of mental health in relation to disasters, both genders are affected by increased mental health issues, but evidence suggests that men in particular are disproportionately likely to commit suicide following a disaster, with evidence from farmers in India. So to conclude on this point that I wanted to make, and you may be familiar with the gender unicorn, to suggest that gender does not equal women. And this has to be constantly reaffirmed because the binary between men and women is not helpful anymore to draw a nuanced picture on how climate change affects people differently. And an intersectional approach is really necessary both to understand people's social identities in terms of their gender identities, gender expression, sexual orientation, beyond sex characteristics, but also the other social identities that will influence their vulnerability and capacity related to their age, their origins, class, etc., etc. The last point I wanted to make is to deconstruct a little bit what we mean by risks and global heating, especially. We have on the one side the scientific evidence on the future impact of climate change, and I'm referring here to the summary for policymakers of the latest IPCC report that came out this year. And what this report shows is that changes will include not only heat waves, but also an increase in the frequency of trees